Hey, this is Matt Hensley from Flogging, and you're watching Wheeler's Weekend Jams, live and direct.
Wheeler's Weekend Jams, live and direct.
Wheeler's Weekend Jams live and direct here from Riot Fest 2015 in Chicago. And standing next to me is Matt from Flogging Molly. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
Fantastic. How has Riot Fest in Chicago been treating you today? And what's the atmosphere like?
It's great. And like you said, it's not pissing rain right now, so we should all be pretty stoked on that. It looks happening, man. It looks pretty sweet.
For sure. The sun is shining, and so are we. So I'm gonna start from the very beginning. When you were a very little child, what really kind of started you as a musician, I would say, and got you into music in general?
I used to. I skateboarded my whole life, so I would probably say skateboarding. Believe it or not, like every jam every ditch, every freaking quarter pipe, half pipe, curb, there was somebody with like a boombox playing music, and so I just felt like it was always part of my everything. It was always being played, and I just always liked it, and even since I can remember, I bought a guitar and did the standard operating procedure and started playing guitar. Actually, I actually opened up for No Doubt in like the late 80s with some ska band that I played for a guitar. And actually, I used to play guitar. I was one of the original guys in the Deal's Gone Bad from Chicago before they got really good and they kicked my ass out. No, but I know those are my friends. But anyways, yeah, I always love music, man.
Cool. Hell yeah. Yeah, No Doubt's playing tonight, so.
I know, I just saw that. So.
It's funny how the world works. Your guys' last album, Speed of Darkness, came out in 2011. Is there a new album in the works?
There is. We're about half. We're writing it right now. We've written about half of it. It's just hard for us to get enough time to do it. We're constantly touring to make enough money so we can take the time off to sit somewhere and just work on music. It's hard because it all costs money. But I think in the next month or two we're gonna get back together in Detroit and finish the record, and then after there we're gonna record it. And where that happens, I have no idea yet. That's to be. Patience,
ladies and gentlemen. So I'm always interested. Nowadays, obviously, everything is download this, download that. What are your thoughts on how music is released nowadays? Because I myself, I like collecting vinyl and CDs, the actual personal. Nowadays it's kind of like people just will listen to one song and then they'll kind of move on, and they don't actually know that the band has a whole album. What are your thoughts on that?
I know the record industry as a whole has gone through some serious changes in the last 15 years. I also collect vinyl. I don't even collect CDs. I'll buy some shit and I'll put it on my computer, and then it just gets lost, or I don't even know what. But I like to touch it, man. I like vinyl, but and vinyl's coming back right now. I don't know if you've seen the numbers, but
it is.
It's doing really, really well. So I still think people, if they really like the band, you'll probably do both. You'll download what you want and then actually buy something because you get something. You get to touch it, put it on your wall, and it looks cool. And doesn't, it's not just some floppy disk that will break if you fuck around with it or whatever.
It's
right?
the story of the band.
It's just,
you hang out with your friends, you pass it around.
It's great to be able to look at those old records and read all the, the little interesting facts that they may or may not give you, the lyrics, everything. It's pretty sweet. I know a lot of people aren't making money like they used to, and I think the world as a whole is kind of going to doing this kind of stuff where, it's harder and harder to make money in the world from like releasing stuff, if you will, but to play live and to kick people's ass no matter what band you're in. Live is always worth something. To see it in person. I have, all these bands are playing today. There's some bands I have never seen before, and I'd like to say to myself that I've seen them with my own damn eyes. I've heard the song a million times, but there's something to say about that. And I think, thank God that no change in intelligence or computer power can change that.
That's right. Good answer. Yeah. Yeah, it's just funny how every year it just changes. Now it's Spotify, and it just keeps on going, keeps on progressing, But vinyl is coming back. So.
I think vinyl is coming back, and I know like Apple's coming out with a new thing, I don't know. I know that from my one in a million perspective being in Flogging, I think the artists should be paid. I mean, and the more and more people like big companies take and monopolize things, and they're just giving the artists less and less. I mean, at some point, everybody listening, the artists that you like won't be able to even afford to do it unless you're the 1%, or you got big boobs and you're like super hot, or you're a young guy and you look good. Either way, either way, you're playing that game. But it's you got to make enough living. I mean, in Flogging, most of us are all married. Yeah, all of us are all married, kids up the wazoo.
Which changes everything.
Yeah, I mean, we all have real families, and if I don't get paid anymore, my lady gets pissed off. My son looks at me like, "Dad, you're a jackass. What have you been doing?"
Makes sense. Okay, well, there's one final question I have to ask you. I ask every band this, but I'm a movie buff, and if you had to compare your band to a movie, what movie would it be, and why?
I tell you this. I'm going to kind of answer your question. The movie called With Nail and I. Are you familiar?
What's it called?
With Nail and I?
No.
You're a movie buff, huh?
I am a movie buff, but you got me there. You got me there. It's okay.
It's like an indie film. It's like an English. It's like an English film. It's really good, but if there was a movie that sums up this band, it's that movie. We literally used to, when we toured, when we lived back in the day, 20 years ago or whatever, when we were in a van, we had a little like shitty television that had a VCR, and we'd watch this movie religiously every night for months on end. Just get drunk as fuck, sit in the back of this van, and watch With Nail and I. And I mean, I can quote this movie, and you'd find it interesting, but you'd never seen it, so you'd just be like, he could be making that shit up. But I'm telling you, that movie for us, for Flogging, that would be the movie.
With Nail and I. Yeah. With Nail and I. I'm gonna have to check it out then, since I am a movie buff. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, with Nail and I. Well, hey, thank you so much for doing this interview. And ladies and gentlemen, Wheelers Weekend Jams live and direct here. Check out WheelersWeekendJams.com and go to our new Patreon page at patreon.com/WWJ.